What's up guys, in this video I want to talk about the current event going on right now and answer the question, how hard is the Maliwan Takedown? After playing for about a day on Mayhem 4, I can say that the takedown is definitely a lot easier. Is it going to be a cakewalk? No, but it is going to allow many more builds to get through. The builds we use for solo 4-player difficulty can now get through the takedown effortlessly. So with that being said, players with builds that are not perfect can stand a chance, but you still need to come prepared. And players with top tier builds can farm it really fast. The good thing is now everyone has the opportunity to complete and make top tier builds while the event lasts. So for the rest of the video, I'm just going to be breaking down each encounter and talking about the difficulty changes. Starting in the first part, you're going to easily tell how much faster enemies are going to die, especially when shooting the turret targets. You're going to run up to them and they're just going to get melted. The second part is somewhat of the same. You're just doing more damage and taking less damage. You'll notice that you can kill the first robot encounter. You can kill it really quick this time. It has a lot of health if you are playing on Mayhem 4. If you're not, I would imagine that it doesn't have much health, but on Mayhem 4 it does have a lot of health, but you can kill it much quicker and you don't die anywhere as much as that fight as you used to. You can kind of walk around and be safe. Next is the Valkyrie Squad, and the Valkyrie Squad are honestly super easy now from my testing if you're playing with a very good build. You can use things like a recursion or a brainstormer, and that just straight up shreds their shields and their health bars if you have enemies around. Even when I was using unconventional weapons, I would still melt their health bars down really quickly, but it obviously is not going to be as good as if you're using something really good. Guns most people use are recursion, Kutzmans, Maggie, stuff like that. Well, I was actually using a dictator, which I know the dictator is really good, but the dictator was doing just about as good as the Kutzman was doing on 4-player difficulty, which is really nice. The next area to me is where you can really notice a difference, where you have to fight the flying bots and all the dog robot type enemies. I don't know the specific name off the top of my head right now, but all those enemies that were just easily just one-shot you, and the robots that would just fly around super annoying and you really couldn't hit them, but they would also just magically melt you at some points. Well, now I can safely say that the flying bots are super easy to kill now. They die in like one clip of most guns, which is so nice. That part has always been the most tedious part in any of my runs, and being able to kill them in one clip now is just beyond nice. The dogs are no longer just gonna basically one hit you or two hit you. You actually can take some damage now from them, and that is really good. So it makes just getting through that area much more peaceful and a lot less chaotic. Now, speaking of chaotic, a lot of enemies still do spawn, so you have to be careful with that. Even though they're doing less damage, if there's a ton of enemies, they're still going to kill you, like, because they're all damaging you. But one thing to note is once you get the shield down in this part, it's only going to spawn 2 of the enemies now. It used to spawn 4. I don't know if this is just a glitch, but as of right now, on 1-player difficulty, it's only spawning 2 after you get the shield down. Then finally, we get to Wotan. And now I don't want to lie and say it's super easy, kind of like the other parts, because it's not. The Wotan fight is still a challenge, but it is a lot more manageable now. Everything in the arena still does a lot of damage to you, and if you don't kill Wotan fast enough, it still spawns all those additional mobs. That's going to be adding to the damage that Wotan's doing, and you can easily get destroyed if you don't have enough health perks or just survivability builds. Now, with that being said, if you have a top tier build that could already do a solo Mayhem 4-player difficulty, Wotan is literally going to be a cakewalk for you. This is more specifically just towards newer players. Like if you're using spiritual driver and recursion, it's mind-numbingly easy with all the survivability and damage you have with that build. Or if you're even using Zane's See and Dead build, it's just very easy. Now, if you don't have any of those good builds, you need to watch out for all the mobs that it's going to spawn, all the rockets that are being shooting, especially all the little flying bots on the second part of the fight, because they can still destroy you and they use their little missile barrage. You're gonna not understand where you die from, but that's what you're dying from. Trust me, it's very annoying. Definitely watch out for that. All in all, and the takedown is much more doable now for any build. If you guys didn't know that, there's actually a community event going on right now that's being hosted by Moxie, and Killer 6 is involved with it as well. They were basically going to be doing speed runs on the takedown. We can't use, specific OP things that everyone uses because they're super good, and whoever gets the quickest time is actually going to win some prizes. If you guys are curious about that community event I was talking about, anyway, I'm going to link Moxie's video in the description. He goes over everything, and there's also rules in his description too, but he goes over everything in the video. So if you want to check that out, again, it's going to be in the description. So this event change is what is allowing that community event to happen, and also allowing newer players to farm Mayhem 4 gear that's going to drastically help their builds out. So with this change, you can expect to see much more unique builds, hopefully from all 4 characters. And if you're just farming for gear, you can still use your top tier build that you've been using, and you can easily do the takedown. But that's going going to do all for me. Let me know what you guys think about the takedown changes. I would really like to know. I know some people don't like the event, but others, tend to like it. I personally think it's a good thing because it's going to let new players get gear that they need to get if they're struggling right now, and also players like probably most of us farm a lot of gear, and getting a lot of loot is always nice. But anyway, like I said, that's going to do it for me. If you enjoyed or found this useful in any way, remember to drop a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.